Did you know there are 5% of the information that you know, and there are remaining 95% of the information that even you do not know that exists even today. So this is how the learning curve of an average individual looking like. When someone completes their college or education degree, right up to the age of 25, this is how their learning graph looks like. Because at this point of time, they acquire theoretical knowledge and they do get involved in some practical aspects, but again, it is not very extensive. But when they join a corporate sector, that is when they learn the technical education, and that is where they came to know about the different technicalities or the functionalities that are involved in the respective job. And at this point of time, that learning curve or learning path or the rate of learning goes up significantly. And there comes a time when they are loaded with other operational responsibilities or activities. And that is the point of time the learning curve slows down or it stagnates. And at this point of time, if you do not focus on your personal development or professional development on your own, so your learning curve will continue to decline. And this is where I do suggest people to take care of their personal development and professional development. Because with the help of taking the right help from the mentor, coaching, you would be able to work on yourself. And that is where you would be able to understand what is the latest trend in the market, what is happening in the industry. And that is how you learn and grow. Because with the help of personal development, obviously your career development will also take a jump. And at this point of time, I would like to quickly bring in what is happening around the world. As you see, last November, we had OpenAI, they have started ChatGPT and DALL-E. They have come up with the different OpenAI versions. And in the last 6 months, there has been revolutionary changes that has happened since the evolution of ChatGPT. And you see, the impact is of many, many fold. It has started taking away lots of jobs, from various sectors, various organizations. Many people have started losing their jobs, particularly those working in the technology sector. Now the question arises, what do you want to do at this point of time? And this is where I would like to talk about three secrets that I have learned based on my work experience, based on my working in a corporate sector for the past 20 years. So number one is you need to be a lifelong learner. This seems to be very simple, but however it is not, it is. Because as you get involved in your day-to-day activities, it is the work pressure, it is the monotonous of work that takes over. And this is where at this point of time you need to start thinking of what is new for you, what is next for you, because the world is changing. Developers, they are learning more of cloud. Testers are moving from manual to automation, semi-automation. Traditional project managers, they are moving from waterfall to agile to DevOps projects. So what are you waiting for? So this is where you need to understand what is relevant for you, and you need to understand what is really market demanding. And that is where you need to take the right mentor's help and you need to jump into the right field. Point number two, it's not sufficient if you know only that information. It is all about how do you apply that information in the relevant field. And that is where one of my mentors says it is not about learning and learning. It is about how do you put into action. And when you put something into action, when you implement something, you learn more. But even you would be able to learn even more if you teach that to few other people. And that is where you would be able to understand what is really happening, because when you start teaching, obviously you will be able to understand more and you will get more clarity on the subject, because when your students start asking you the questions. And that is where you'll be able to get to the next level of expertise, and you become a subject matter expert in during this course. So this is how my mentor says it's not about learning, but how do you implement it, and then how do you put into action, by teaching someone. So that is where you are able to take massive action. Learn, do, teach is the formula. And point number three, and this is where I think many of our individuals do fail: having a positive mindset and having the motivation. It's not about learning or it's not about doing, but how do you keep the momentum on for a longer period of time? Because if you wanted to be in this game for a very, very, very long time, you need to understand how it works. And that is where you need to work on your mindset. You need to work on your habits. You need to work on your daily rituals. And that is where you need to work on yourself. That is where mindset plays a very, very important role. And I would like to talk on that as well. So, in the changing times, it's good to be a lifelong learner. Again, it is not sufficient if you simply learn and do not do any action or do not take any action about it. You need to start taking action by implementing what you have learned into practice. And it would be even more effective if you teach that concept to few other individuals. And that is how you give back to that community as well. So this is what I wanted to say today, and this is Girija this side. And if you have any questions, feedback, please do provide those, or please provide those comments below. Thank you.